appointed by two old person to throw on their behalf also, sir. So do I have to pay them for those two people also, and overall three, or one is enough, sir?
Okay, if I understand your question, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying that you threw before al-Dhuhr on the last day of Hajj, and
Yes,
you throw on behalf of two other people.
Myself and two other people also.
Who deputized you to do this?
Sorry, sir?
Who deputized you to throw on their behalf?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're asking, should this be the sacrifice on your behalf or on their behalves as well?
Yeah, yes.
Any more questions?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
I will answer your questions, inshallah. Brother Fahim?
Yes.
Yes, your question, Brother Fahim.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I have two questions. The first one is, what was the religion of Prophet Muhammad before Islam?
Okay. Second?
The second one is that I want to know the authenticity of this hadith that says that the best type of jihad is the jihad of the one who strives against his own self. Is it authentic or not fabricated?
Okay, I will answer your question, inshallah. Okay, first of all, Muhammad from the Emirates is asking about the ruling on Islamic insurance. Basically speaking, Islamic insurance, when it was first introduced about 30 or so years ago, the scholars gathered and they gave the verdict that this type, as portrayed to them, is permissible. And what is that type? It is like a group of people joining forces. Let's say 1,000 person agree on allocating a wallet, a pot, where they contribute 1,000 riyals for a year. So 1,000 multiplied by 1,000, this is 1,000,000 riyals in this pot. And they agree that anyone who has a car accident, or his house is burnt, or he has to pay something for an accident that took place, they will compensate that person, and they would consider that this money allocated, the 1,000,000 riyals now, is for charity. It's in the sense of helping one another, only for the 1,000 people. And that is it. So people would have a car accident, or the house would be burnt, or a burglar breaks in, and they give this 50,000, 10,000, 1,000, depending on their need. Once the money is finished, they've spent the whole million, even if it was in the first or second week. If someone comes in and says, listen, someone crashed into my car and I need 5,000 riyals to fix it. And we say, tough luck, we don't have anything in the pot or in the wallet. He said, yes, but I gave you 1,000 riyals. Listen, you contributed. You did not do this as a form of commercial insurance where we have to pay you. The money is over. If this is the case, then this is halal insurance. Why? Because it is a form of collaboration on virtue and on good. What's happening at the moment, unfortunately, to my knowledge, maybe I don't have sufficient knowledge, but to what I know, is not like this. They're having corporates running the show. They're giving high salaries for the management, for the CEO, for the VPs, for the managers, etc. They are utilizing the money in the pot and investing it. And this is not what we agreed for. We agreed to give the money so that we would help one another. So they're investing part of it, and they are offering normal insurance services. What happens in the middle of the year if the money ran out? If we have floods and all of a sudden everybody wants a financial aid, so we give them from what they've contributed, and the money runs out. What happens? They say, we will borrow. Then this is exactly what the commercial insurance companies are doing. Say, yeah, but we will borrow on good terms, no interest, so they claim, and it goes on and on. So what I see it, the way I see it, that there isn't any such thing as correct Islamic insurance at the moment, especially those run by the corporates, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Rashid is asking about a previous question where he said that the last day of Hajj, he did not throw the jamarat, the pebbles, after the adhan of dhuhr, which he was supposed to do. And he did this after fajr. So the scholars say that whoever does not throw on time, or whoever skips one day of throwing the pebbles, then he has to sacrifice a goat or a sheep to be slaughtered in Mecca and distributed the meat that is upon the poor in the Mecca area, in the Haram area. Now he's saying that, okay, I did this also for 2 people. They told me to do that on their behalf, and I did that. So do I have to slaughter 2 sheep? The answer is no. The slaughtering is on them. It is their problem. It is their mistake to do this, so you don't have to care about that either, inshallah. Fahim, okay, Muhammad from Emirates.
Assalamualaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have a question, 2 questions.
Okay.
One question is regarding killing small flies or walking or flying on the air. Generally, of course, killing any creation like dogs, cats is not allowed. But these small ants that are on your way, or this, can you please a little bit explain this issue? If it's okay, allowed to kill them, or we should always leave them.
So
don't take them and take them away from us.
So if I see a mosquito and I do this, this is what you're asking about it?
I can't hear you. Sorry, sir.
If I see a mosquito and I
Yeah,
squash it.
Or these small ants walking on the floor or flying, do we have to catch them and put them away from the room, or
Okay.
it's okay to kill them?
Okay.
And my second question is that, as excellence of manner, best excellence of manner is to eat the food from the edge, and the barakah is mostly on the edge, not in the center. This is, of course, when the tray is in the middle and you take from the edge. How about if you take from the edge, and nowadays people put it on the plate? Of course, they don't eat from the tray. So if you put in your own plate, is it also sunnah you have to eat from around it, or is it okay to just eat from slowly from the edge and finish it?
Okay.
You got my point here?
Yes.
And same thing with this drinking in the bottle. As sunnah is to put it in the glass, not in the bottle. How about this small masafi bottle, which is very small like a glass? Still, we have to put it in the glass. As I heard Chef just saying that it's sunnah to eat, to pour it in the cup, not to drink it from the bottle.
Okay. Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
And just now I heard an excellence of manners in the program, where he said 2 things. One of that you have to put it in the glass.
Okay.
And so if it's a small, like a glass, a small masafi bottle, which all of us know that it's like 1.5 glass, but still we have to put it in the glass.
Are you sharing it, or you're drinking from it on your own?
No, it's on my own.
Okay, khalas. I will answer you, inshallah.
Can I just bring the bottle because it's small, or I have to put it in a glass as a part of sunnah?
I will answer your question, inshallah. The following question. Abdullah from Sweden.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have 2 questions, inshallah, if I can go on.
Yes, go on.
The first question is that it is allowed for me to, example, go and study in Egypt or Saudi Arabia, Islamic knowledge, while my parents don't allow it. And my parents also had their cousins, my brother here, the support they need, the economic goodwill here.
Do you have other brothers, siblings that took care of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have 2 brothers here, a sister, my cousins. They have their own parents here too. They can support them economically. They don't have any need of me.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
So it's still allowed for me to go while they do accept.
Okay.
And the second question is, Sheikh, I feel like I've become more distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even when I try to do nafil prayers, I feel always alone all the time. Example, when my parents say, why do you go to bed? Or the cousins say, why do you have the pants over the ankle? You should not do that. This affects my iman and affects me from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what can I do to soften the heart or grow my iman? Because I find the iman is just going weaker and weaker. Sometimes I doubt about myself if the iman is there or not. جزاك الله خير.
وجزاك يا أخي الحبيب. Okay. Regarding the question, okay, brother Abdul Rahman from South Africa.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. أخانتت.
الحمد لله.
الحمد لله. خود ها. Yes.
I've got a question to ask you.
Yes, brother.
I was a Sunni Muslim before,
Okay.
and I became an Ahmadi Muslim.
Okay.
But now the Shaitan ulama here in my country has declared me a kafir.
Okay.
Now I would like to know on what basis could they declare me a kafir?
Okay.
Because they have no knowledge what is Ahmadiyyat all about and what is the belief. It's just a lot of concoction that they get from the ulama from India and Pakistan. They have no knowledge of Islam.
Okay.
So I would like to know what's your verdict on that.
As an Ahmadi, can you tell me what is your religion, in the sense that is there a prophet after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
If the Quran says so, then of course.
No, I'm asking you, is there?
You see, all the Muslim sects are waiting for the return of Nabi Isa. So
No,
who's the
yeah,
last prophet?
No, you did not answer my
If we
question.
take your belief, you say Nabi Isa is going to come. So if I say that Nabi Isa has come in the person of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salam,
Okay.
so what's wrong with it?
Okay. I will answer the question, Brother Abdurrahman.
Okay, Jazakumullah.
Wajazak. Okay. Brother Fahim is asking, what was the religion of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam before Islam? And the answer was Islam, in the sense that every newborn is born on the fitrah, as the Prophet said alayhi salatu wasalam. And the Prophet was one of those. And he did not change alayhi salatu wasalam. He believed in Allah the Almighty, but he did not have a law to worship Allah accordingly. And that is why he used to go for months in the cave of Hira and contemplating and pondering upon Allah's beautiful creations. So he was a Muslim, in the sense that he did not worship any other with Allah Azza wa Jal. And also he did not eat anything that was slaughtered to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He never prostrated to any of the idols. So all in all, he was a Muslim, but he did not have a law or a religion as such, except the Abrahamic religion that the people of Arabia originally followed before Shaitan made them go out of Tawheed into worshipping others with Allah Azza wa Jal. His second question is the hadith of the best of jihad is to offer jihad to oneself. I don't know about this hadith personally. We hear it a lot, but it is not a hadith to my knowledge. I have to go and check it out in the books of hadith. However, we know that jihad is a number of different types. There is jihad of one's self, there is jihad of shaitan, there is jihad of the disbelievers, there is jihad of the hypocrites, and there is jihad of the sinners. And each one has its equipment or weaponry, if you wish, to perform jihad with. So if you drop me an email, inshallah, I'll try my level best to look into it. Now, Muhammad says, what's the ruling on killing a small insect? Anything that harms you, you're allowed to kill in Islam. So if there is a dog that is harming you and affecting you and is causing you fear and it's a stray dog, you can kill that dog without any problem. If there's a cat that is dropping and tearing your furniture and you're unable to get rid of it without killing it, you can kill it. And likewise, these insects, you can kill them without a problem. She's saying that what's the ruling on if I put food in my plate? Now we know that the sunnah is we eat from the edges of the food and of the plate, and not to eat from the middle, because the Prophet told us that the barakah, the blessing of Allah is something we cannot see, but we know that it exists and we try our level best to detect it. And the Prophet tells us, do not eat from the middle, eat from what's in front of you. So she says that if I have it in my plate, can I eat from the middle? I would suggest that you do not, because the instruction of the Prophet ﷺ is general. And you don't want to eat the barakah, the blessing from the middle, and then have the rest of the food without any barakah, you should try to maintain this throughout your meal. She's asking about that. We know of the prohibition from drinking from the mouth of the water container, which usually brings bad feeling to a person, especially when there are others using it. So what's the ruling on that? If the container itself is a bottle, so if I'm having a bottle of beer, non-alcoholic of course, and I drink from it, or a water container that is half a liter and it's all for me, so do I have to pour it in a glass and then drink from the glass? No, you don't have to do that. You can drink it straight up without any problem, inshallah. Abdullah from Sweden is saying that he is interested in coming to Saudi Arabia, to Egypt, to Qatar, any Muslim country where they give Islamic studies as a scholarship, and he would like to study Islam. And his parents disagree and they don't want him to leave. And the ruling is, as long as you have other siblings, as long as your livelihood is not, of your parents, is not dependent on you being there, akhi, you can leave even if your parents do not agree. Because seeking knowledge, especially in the conditions where, in the country where you are, especially in with the target of spreading Islam and being an anchor in your country for giving da'wah and spreading the true Islam among the Muslims there, this is a very noble cause, and you do not require the permission of your parents as stated in the conditions earlier. Now he says that I get sometimes lonely and I feel weak in my iman because, and this is normal, anyone would feel like this, if your parents are against you and the whole community that you live in is free mixing, birthday parties, Christmas is coming, and New Year's celebrations, and probably they would maybe, I don't know, have some more serious sins such as intoxicants, wine, beer, etc. In such an environment, if you're a loner, you would have difficulties, because the Prophet told us, alayhi salatu wasalam, that the wolf does not attack the herd of sheep. He waits until one sheep goes out and then he attacks it. So you are at the moment are the lonely sheep, and that is why you're feeling depressed. That's why you're feeling weak in your iman. You're not encouraged to do so many good things you want to do, but something is pulling you down, and this is what shaitan is good at. So how to do, what to do? There are a number of ways. I always tell the brothers and sisters to follow these ways, especially when they're living in a non-Muslim country. Number one, you have to increase the portion of knowledge by reading the Quran, a great deal of it, not only 1 page and 2 pages a day. No, read a great deal of it. Learn more about the Sunnah. Read a lot about the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. How did he act? How did he react to these campaigns that the pagans and the idol worshippers used to launch against him, and their relentless efforts in trying to get him out of Islam by either seducing him or by intimidating him? Once you read this, this increases your iman. Alongside this, you must attend a lot of circles of knowledge in your hometown if you have some. If you don't have some, initiate some of your own and call people. And mostly important, in my opinion, is that you have to surround yourself with practicing brothers, true practicing Muslim brothers, because once you're with them, you hang out with them, you go to attend lectures with them, you arrange conferences with them, and you travel with them. Being with these bunch of true believers who are following the true Quran and Sunnah on the understanding of the Salaf, you will increase your iman in, you will boost it. You will find this boost is so astonishing that it will re-energize your iman. And I believe that if you do this, then inshallah you are at good hands. Abdurrahman from South Africa, he's saying that he was a Sunni Muslim and he converted into an Ahmadi. And he's saying that people say that Ahmadis are not Muslims. Well, and he said that the scholars of India and Pakistan, they're brainwashing the people. I'm afraid that it's not the scholars of Pakistan or India or Saudi Arabia or Egypt or Jordan or Syria or Iraq or Iran or Indonesia. The whole of the Muslim Ummah consider the Qadianis, the Baha'is, the Ahmadis not to be part of the Muslims. We are not as Muslims allowed to marry from you. We are not allowed to eat from your slaughtering. If you slaughter a sheep, we can eat a sheep that was slaughtered by a Christian or by the Jew because they're mentioned in the Quran. Because you have nullified your Islam by falsifying things and claiming that it is part of the Quran or if not the Quran. The majority of the Ahmadis are non-Arabs, so they don't understand the Quran. If I tell them that 1, 2, 3, ABC, look at me, is a verse of the Quran, nice, let's rhyme and make it a song and dance to it. They don't know what the Quran is. They have nothing related to Arabic. So they are just following their shepherd, unfortunately. But anyone claiming that there is a prophet or a messenger coming after the Prophet ﷺ, he's a kafir. He's an apostate and he's not a Muslim. The thing that he said that, okay, if Jesus Christ is coming at the end of time, this means that there is a prophet after the Prophet ﷺ, and this is not true. Jesus came before the Prophet ﷺ. So when he descends at the end of time, he would not be coming again with a new law. He would not be coming again with a new religion. He would not even lead the prayer when he descends, because Muhammad ibn Abdullah al-Mahdi would be wanting after the Iqamah to lead the Muslims in Fajr prayer, and when he sees Jesus Christ descending, he retreats and he wants him to lead the prayer, and Jesus says, no, it was made for you. The Iqamah was made for you and you're the one who to lead. And he leads Jesus, Isa ibn Maryam, with the congregation. And this shows you that he does not come with a new religion. He's a follower of the Prophet's ﷺ religion, and that is why he breaks the cross, he kills a swine, and he does not take the jizya anymore from the Christians or the Jews, because he is there. So this misconception, unfortunately, I know that I will not be able to change your mind, because usually people are adamant at what they believe, especially if it is something that deals with their arrogance. So yes, we took this on, and even if it's wrong, we're going to keep on doing it until we die. Unfortunately, you do not constitute 1 in a million of the Muslim world. And unfortunately, you don't have the proper knowledge that Arabs have from the Quran and from the Sunnah. And thirdly, the issue could go on, and it would take ages to probably explain. Okay, Abdurrahman, I don't want to make this a debate, Akhi, because this is not the proper time. It's only for questions and answers. But as long as the people in the control took your call, yes, sir.
Prophet said 72 Muslim sects will invite towards Jahannam.
True.
But only one will invite towards Jannah.
True. Complete.
I can prove to you from the Quran, if you don't believe in a prophet, you're a kafir. Not if you believe in a prophet, you're a kafir. And I'll give you the verse of the Quran where Allah says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْفُرُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ وَيُرِيدُونَ أَن يُفَرِّقُوا بَيْنَ اللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ وَيَقُولُونَ نُؤْمِنُ بِبَعْضٍ وَنَكْفُرُ بِبَعْضٍ وَيُرِيدُونَ أَن يَتَّخِذُوا بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ حَقًّا.
True.
Khatam al-Nabiyyin does not mean the last and final prophet. Of course, the Muhammad is the last and final glory prophet. But Khatam al-Nabiyyin means the most exalted, the most elevated of the prophets. No prophet of the Sharia will come after him.
My friend, my friend. Okay, Abdul Rahman, my friend. So I understand what you're coming from.
Be just It is the closest to
my friend, I know everything you are saying. The ayah you have mentioned is in Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 150. I know, but the problem is with how do we say, colleagues or friends. The hadith that he has quoted states that my ummah would be divided into 73 sects. The Prophet says all of them are in hell except one. He didn't finish the hadith. The companion said, which one are they? Which one is it, O Prophet of Allah? He said, whoever follows what I and my companions follow. And we tell those Ahmadis, Qadianis, Baha'is, where did you come from? The Prophet ﷺ did not prophesize your coming. He prophesied every single thing. And he, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, told us about what is going to happen. And he told us that will come after me 37, in one narration, or almost 40 false prophets, liars, who claim to be prophets and they don't have anything. And look at the miracles that these false prophets have given us. Nothing, zero. Look at what they called. They called their people to obey the kafir ruler who invaded their country. They called the people to turn against those who abide by the Quran and the Sunnah, and to join forces with the kafir invaders who gave them their welfare, who gave them their citizenship. And this is something that no Muslim would accept. And this was not the verdict of the Wahhabis. They call us Wahhabis. Not the verdict of Al-Azhar only. Not the verdict of the scholar. It is the consensus of all scholars of the Muslim Ummah. You're talking about 1.6 or 1.7 billion who raise a flag and say the Ahmadis, the Baha'is, the Qadianis are kafir. No matter what they do, as long as they believe in their false beliefs and they do not believe in the Prophet ﷺ to be the seal of the prophethood. What is the seal of the prophethood? It's just a seal and then we have other prophets as well. Anyone who knows Arabic knows once the money is finished, they've spent the whole million, even if it was in the first or second week. If someone comes in and says, listen, someone crashed into my car and I need 5,000 riyals to fix it. And we say, tough luck, we don't have anything in the pot or in the wallet. He said, yes, but I gave you 1,000 riyals. Listen, you contributed. You did not do this as a form of commercial insurance where we have to pay you. The money is over. If this is the case, then this is halal insurance. Why? Because it is a form of collaboration on virtue and on good. There's 1 million riyals in this pot. And they agree that anyone who has a car accident or his house is burnt or he has to pay something for an accident that took place, they will compensate that person, and they would consider that this money allocated, the 1 million riyals now, is for charity. It's in the sense of helping one another, only for the 1,000 people. And that is it. So people would have a car accident, or the house would be burnt, or a burglar breaks in, and they give this 50,000, 10,000, 1,000, depending on their need. Ahmed from the Emirates is asking about the ruling on Islamic insurance. Basically speaking, Islamic insurance, when it was first introduced about 30 or so years ago, the scholars gathered and they gave the verdict that this type, as portrayed to them, is permissible. And what is that type? It is like a group of people joining forces. Let's say 1,000 person agree on allocating a wallet, a pot, where they contribute 1,000 riyals for a year. So 1,000 multiplied by 1,000, this is
appointed by 2 old person to throw on their behalf also, sir. So do I have to pay dump for those 2 people also, and overall 3, or 1 is enough, sir?
Okay, if I understand your question, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying that you threw before al-Dhuhr on the last day of Hajj, and
yes,
you throw on behalf of 2 other people.
myself and two other people also.
Who deputized you to do this?
Sorry, sir?
Who deputized you to throw on their behalf?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're asking, should this be the sacrifice on your behalf or on their behalves as well?
Yeah, yes.
Any more questions?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
I will answer your questions, inshallah. Brother Fahim?
Yes.
Yes, your question, Brother Fahim.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I have two questions. The first one is, what was the religion of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ before Islam?
Okay. Second?
The second one is that I want to know the authenticity of this hadith that says that the best type of jihad is the jihad of the one who strives against his own self. Is it authentic or not fabricated?
Okay. I will answer your question, inshallah. Okay. First of all, Muhammad